Hello, guys. Today, I want to talk about effortless living. Yes, effortless living as a mindset or attitude for embracing life. Now, sometimes when we let go of worries or the need to control every aspect and trusting that the natural flow of events will actually work, it's a better way to find balance in our life. Because that is where the difference between doing and being exists, between striving and accepting. Sometimes we want to have control. We want to make sure that everything goes perfect and everything goes right and that there's no place for error, but that places a lot of pressure on us. Sometimes I have found myself in those roles, don't get me wrong, but it has taken a great toll on me, on my life, placing stress and placing doubts and placing insecurities, and has led me nowhere. So we know that the difference between controlling and allowing is where an effortless lifestyle sits. Now, what is the opposite of having an effortless life? Struggling, right? And how does the struggling look like? Well, when we're trying too hard, when we feel that at the end of the day we become exhausted, it often happens when we feel like we're pushing beyond our limits, when we find ourselves sleepless, when we are trying to meet certain expectations, when we're finding that we are coming to a point where we're feeling over fatigued, that we're trying to always reach out for more, that we have goals that are bigger than we can achieve, when we are affecting our mental and physical health. Now, we're as a psychologist, I have found that many of my clients, and I have found myself too, that the more we work, the more we try to gather something, achieve something, pursue something, the more tired we feel. And that constant fatigue of feeling constantly that we don't have enough sleep, we don't have enough time to wind down, and we keep pushing too hard is what affects our mental well being, increases our stress, increases our anxiety, and that excessive pressure that we place on ourselves is the worry of not achieving goals. But have you ever stopped to think, who is placing that pressure on ourselves? Are there self-imposed demands? Are there societal expectations? Are there ourselves comparing to someone else? Are there self-limiting beliefs that we're having? We When we are stressed and when we're anxious, it not only affects our mental well-being but also our physical health, and we start to lack enjoyment. We start not to have pleasure in things. We start to have very little time to have fun. We start to be really tense and we don't have energy anymore to enjoy life. We start to have difficulty relaxing. Lots of people say, and myself, I have said, mindfulness doesn't work and I can't just sit on a table and, try to place my mind blank. And we're constantly thinking about the things that we're doing and thinking, well, I'm wasting time here when I can be doing something more valuable. So in that sense, we start to neglect our self-care. And when we neglect our self-care, we know that we are not really rewarding ourselves, replenishing ourselves with the energy that we need in order to succeed. So it's counterproductive to what we really want to achieve. And we become very impatient and angry and irritable and moody, and we become very confused and even fussy, okay? So we know that that will decrease our productivity, will make us feel overwhelmed, will neglect the relationships with people around us, and even it will make us get into conflicts. And will be constantly self-criticizing because we won't be achieving those high standards that we want to achieve. So what I am proposing, and what there's a lot of research that's coming out, and there is a lot of support in mental health that's out there, is that we are trying to strike a balance between work and self-care, right? We all want to have a balance. And a good way is that, yes, we can be ambitious and we can have clear, set, achievable goals, and because it's equally important to have them in our life, but it's equally important to also have time to replenish ourselves, to nurture ourselves, and to have some self-care. And Imagine that you are like a computer and that your mind is running overload with a million things, and you're trying to wind down at night asleep, and you can't because you're thinking of all the things you need to do tomorrow, or all the problems unresolved, or all the conversations you had that were half left on the way, and all the problems or the challenges you need to face the next day. So it's very difficult to find ourselves in a good place if we feel ourselves overloaded to this point. So, what I'm inviting you to do is to take a choice in your life, because I'm not trying to say that this is the only solution. I'm not trying to say that having an effortless life way of living is the answer to all. It can be to some, it can be not to everyone, but it can be a practice that you can choose to integrate into your life. So it's an alternative to a busy lifestyle. And it also would mean that you can start to have a different attitude in the way you organize your life. So you wouldn't end up at the end of the day feeling like exhausted, but actually, wouldn't it be nice that at the end of the day you felt like you achieved the goal you set yourself out to do, that the day just flowed by, that things just happened, that you managed to solve a problem that you had sitting there on your desk perhaps for days, and that you were inspired and creative, and that you managed maybe to work in collaboration with others, and that you felt good with yourself, and that now you can have an effortless lifestyle because it's about slowing down. Now, here's with these two things come together and marry, right? So having a slow living lifestyle is not about running away to the mountains, stop working, not paying your bills, and just deciding to, live of vegetables. And it's not also having an effortless mindset. It doesn't mean don't push yourself hard and don't work. It actually just means be more focused, do one thing at a time. Define yourself where you reduce the unnecessary struggle that actually places a toll on our health. And I am talking from experience, okay? I am not talking here because I have princessy kind of life, but actually because having that style of life has put me into very bad health. And I'm dealing with a lot of health issues at the time, but because my mindset is in such a positive place, I am able to deal with it in the most effective manner. And I am the kind of person that believes that our mindset, thoughts create a reality, and therefore my thoughts are in the positive realm, and I refuse to talk for myself about illness, though I know where my illness has come from that busy lifestyle, and now I have a choice to talk to everyone else so they don't have to go through these things, because I know that when you have a life where you are living in an effortless way, you can reduce your anxiety, you will have greater presence in the moment, you will start to enjoy your day to day, you will bring more fun, you will promote acceptance and surrender to the things of the way sometimes they go, you will practice more self-compassion, because that's so important sometimes. And we start not to be affected by the things that other people say, expect, or sometimes bring to us, and we can take them perhaps with a step back and deal with them in a more harmonious way. So we can, at the end of the day, live a life in balance with better sleep and have better relationships. So the main thing is that, in a summary, the principle of today is that effortless living can positively impact your mental health. It doesn't replace the importance of a professional, of course, because if you're having some serious issues, please see a psychologist. I'm a psychologist. There are psychologists, counselors, social workers, lots of allied mental health people out there to help you. So please go and seek help and guidance. I'm sure they will guide you in the right way. But if you can manage your stress, and you're like me and doing day to day, and you can change a little bit every day your mindset and the way you think, well, should make a choice for yourself, a different lifestyle with a different philosophical approach that doesn't replace the way you live, but it just integrates it in a more balanced and positive way. Well, I hope this is valuable to you, and I'll see you all next week.